ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special episode of the AUTOPOD Videocast. Thought we would just do a little video here to show you some of the things that we saw and experienced at TFCon Chicago 2018, and like TFCon, I realize that Halloween is over, but I love them both, and so it's our show, and all the 7 of you who watch it, you I'm sure love Halloween as well. So let's all right. Chicago, we are inside you. This is it. This is where it's all going to happen. This is where we may or may not be embarrassing ourselves in front of upwards of 7 to 8 people on Sunday. It's Friday afternoon right now, and we just got introduced by the nicest guys. Paul is hooking us up with AV. It's little nervous, but I think it's going to be great. Very excited about Sunday, but also tonight is the night that we can actually afford to get drunk because we can be hungover Saturday, but not Sunday. Oh man, I'm so excited, you guys. This is going to be great. Or a failure. Either way, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, join us. So handsome he is. I also love how he totally fails to even think about what he's going to say before he starts rolling video. But it's his life, and yeah, so let's see some pics. This is Aaron and me doing a tech test to make sure all of our equipment ran smoothly on Sunday. This was the line for registration, and coincidentally, right behind us in line was friend of the show, Michael Andrews, aka Will Wright for Pizza. He and his significant other, nothing but the nicest people. This was the 5 Faces of Darkness panel that Flint Dilley did on Friday night. He did a commentary during the episodes because he wrote them, and man, let me tell you, that dude can talk. If you've ever seen Dilley on any panels or in any interviews or anything, you know that dude is loquacious in the best way, and he can go on all night long, and boy, that commentary that he did, it was... I knew that it was going to be a long night whenever about 5 seconds into the first episode, he stopped it to talk for 5 minutes. But listening to him is great. We did have to bump out after about 2 hours though, but I did get to meet him. He was very nice, stopped and talked, took a picture with me, and all this is especially impressive considering I kind of cornered him outside of a bathroom. And I was hammered, it's not as bad as it sounds. I mean, at least I waited until we were done and we were out in the reception area. But the reason I even knew that he was around, I didn't see him in the bathroom. I heard him talking on the phone and I recognized his voice. He has a very distinct voice. And so whenever we went out into the area, it was over at the TFCon area. Everybody else was in the bar, so this area was deserted. It was later that night. And I approached him and I was like, I'm sorry, are you Flint Dilley? And he's like, yeah. And I told him about our podcast and about our panel that we did, and he is great in the way that, like, when you meet him, it's exactly the experience you want. The same way people say that about Tom Hanks. And so I told him about our stuff, and he was like, that's really interesting, and seemed very engaged. And like his significant other came over, I think that's who she was, and he was telling her about us, and she did not seem interested at all, but he even took me aside and like we sat down for 15 minutes and I actually rolled tape on the interview, but forgot to get permission for it. So hopefully I will reach out to him and make sure that it's okay. I haven't listened to it in a while, and I was pretty drunk, so I don't remember what it even is or if I'm even coherent on it. He seemed fine, so look forward to that or not in the future. All right. I'm just having fun, you guys. Okay.
So we also owe Skeeter a selfie of all of us.
Okay.
No, we probably not in.
costume contest. Couple dealer room picks. And a quest for gin.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. 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 Come in and get your booze. This is Halloween. Oh, get that drink. Okay, I feel like that Chicago maybe is not such a heavy gin town because this is the only, gin that I can find. It's like 4 different brands, and I'm just looking down here, and it is super dusty. Like, I'll take one.
Evan Phillips, the organizer for the con, Evantainment on Twitter, YouTube, and his website, was nice enough to roll video on our panel for us, Mental Movie Moments. But we are just waiting on that to come back, and then we'll be able to share that with you guys. I'm sure that he's busy with other things, but in the meantime, we did have episode 84 is all the audio on that, and it's pretty good, you guys. It was way more fun than I could possibly imagine. I spent like 3 days being stressed over it. Well, more like 3 months, but being stressed over it and worrying that it was going to be so difficult and that nobody was going to attend. The room was probably at least 2/3 full, half to 2/3 full, and it was great. Like, everybody was super nice. The event was so fun. I kind of wish we hadn't been on Sunday so I could have enjoyed a little more without being so nervous for it, but it went off amazingly, flawlessly, and thanks to Mike Seibert of Mike Seibert Radio for also being our game show host guy. So, I don't have the video yet, but in the meantime, I did roll a little bit on our rehearsals, so here's a few minutes of that.
As we said, we've been breaking this movie down minute by minute for over a year, and in that time we've discovered it is not hyperbolic to say that this movie can be a little unhinged. And it had the potential to be even more so, which Ryan is going to go into later into the podcast. But right now, we're going to get into some of the on-screen craziness by breaking down the fandom's favorite thing to talk about when it comes to amazing, shape-shifting battle robots from space, and that is humans. And by 2005, Stark was 33 years old and very handsome. And, we don't know what he's been up to this whole time. Well, I guess we know one thing he's been up to. Am I right? Which, by the way, stop. Did you see Carly out there?
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody look more like their animation.
I know,
right?
wow.
That's
She's
crazy.
like
The very. But anyway, resume.
You should leave that in.
I will leave that in.
It's not bad, yeah.
But you gotta make sure you know her name. You gotta make sure you know her name.
Yeah.
Did you see
Bannis over at
Is that her name?
Arlene Bannis. Bannis. It's like, please don't leave.
Wait,
That's why I come in. I'll be like, I'm like, oh, please don't leave. It gets better. Well, no, it really doesn't.
You're barring the door.
This is.
But maybe
This
actually.
is no Flint Dilly panel. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's Mike back there guarding the door.
Hi.
Well, maybe
Hi,
he
Mike
does.
Seibert. I've seen the movie a bunch.
Hi, I'm excited. I guarded the door. So, without further ado, the AUTOPOD Decepticast is excited to host a show that is sweeping the Transformers universe by storm. It's Deal or Can't Deal.
Perfect. No need to rehearse that again.
We should do it that stilted.
And people feel kind of safe if they're standing in the audience.
Yeah.
You know, I like
These
that.
people aren't afraid to do anything.
I don't
They're down to clown.
D2C. We're going to go into a little section now that Ryan's going to lead that we call... Okay. Hopefully that works out.
That
We'll
was
see.
great.
Really well.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Formed by Unicron have a battle cry, Ingester and Victory, which Caleb loves. It's his favorite.
I do. I like it.
I don't think you're goofing on your phone the whole time, just like the show.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
So did I not click yet?
Don't click yet.
Okay.
I hope that you just say, occasionally just say, don't click yet.
Yes. Who stays open at... So, I love that.
We gotta make some script deviations.
I don't know if I'm gonna have breakfast this morning.
I don't think this is gonna go the way that I want it to go.
You're making me angry.
The AUTOPOD Decepticast is proud to present our next segment called Roll Call. Yes, it's Roll Call, where we challenge a member of the audience to a little trivia celebrating those where the literal heart and soul of the G1 show. Oh, you must have written this, Aaron.
I'm talking about a fucking dead dog, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on up, young man. What's your name?
Franklin.
You sound very familiar, Franklin.
I'm not the same guy.
All right, very good. No relation, though.
I want more toys.
Very good, very good. So where are you from?
Fern Gully.
The last rainforest?
Yeah, it's great.
I liked it better
It's
when they
been
call
developed now.
it better when they. What's been your favorite thing about TFCon so far?
I like the smells.
First, voice actor Regis Kordick. Regis Kordick is the voice of the Quintesson prosecutor and was a radio host in Pittsburgh from 1948 to 1965, where he had a running gag for a fake beer called what?
And then you read the options. Was it A, Slag Heap Light?
I love it.
B,
Fist Fight Stout, or C, Old Frothing.
Some of them. That's all she wrote, folks. I'll probably release that Flint Dilly audio once I reach out to him as a bonus episode of the podcast, but I hope you enjoyed this. You could like it and subscribe and do all the things. But until next time, pistols at dawn.